Hey guys, my name is Nora Franch, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. We are reading from Voices of Recovery, page 52. It's the reading for February 21st. In OA, we learn that our recovery comes to us through the principles of the program, not through personalities. That is from the OA 12 and 12, page 203. We are taught through loving acts of tact and kindness, under difficult circumstances, that we are given far more than a normal body size as a result of taking OA's 12 steps and remaining abstinent. Since recovery in OA is a transformational journey, conflict with others is inevitable and often unavoidable. The shame and low self-esteem which preys on us afterwards is the voice of our disease calling us back. Today, I can view my differences with others, both personal and philosophical, as opportunities to identify and overcome my knee-jerk reactions to the world in which I live. I can tolerate the feelings and sidestep the temptation to abbreviate my discomfort by speaking or acting inappropriately, knowing that a short-term fix won't work for someone like me. I pray that I may always seek God's help to move towards the most harmonious relations with others, knowing that my abstinence may hinge on my reaction to life in this moment. The OA principles will always lead me in that direction. Yeah, wow, there are so many things in here that are so good and yet very hard for me personally, and perhaps for a lot of people who are listening as well. So it's really difficult for me when there's conflict or, tension in a relationship. And often my knee-jerk reaction is to people please, to minimize the way I feel, to tell myself, oh, well, it's not that big a deal to me, because if I go along with their line of thinking, I can just shorten that feeling of discomfort. What ends up happening is that then I'm not acting in integrity with myself and with who I am. I may or may not realize that I'm actually lying to myself. I'm lying to another person. And now they are in relationship with a person who is not real, with this person that I'm just presenting myself to be instead of who I am. And then a relationship becomes false. There's this false, tinge in the relationship. And that makes sense with a lot of relationships I had in my younger years, because I just never felt very connected. And I think a lot of it was because I was just trying to be who you wanted me to be in that moment, to be whoever it would be, that there was the least amount of tension. And then it's not a real relationship. Because though I'd never learned how to handle that tension. And even today, this is like a big, it triggers that feeling in me of like, I'm not safe when there's tension. And so it's something that I still struggle with, and I have to I just really have to be careful when I identify that coming up. And it's almost like I have to talk to myself like I'm a little kid. Like, you're okay. This is actually a really good reminder, because it happens. It happens all the time in relationships, especially with people who we, just don't quite see eye to eye, or people that we interact with a lot, chances are that we disagree on things. And it can really be challenging, I think, for those of us who are in the steps, because chances are we haven't learned that emotional dexterity very well. And so we have a habit either of like becoming really big and feeling like, no, it's my way or the highway, or becoming really small and it's like, whatever you say. And like the virtue is in that middle ground. And so, I'm not there yet. This is something that I definitely need to learn. And maybe you can relate as well. And maybe a fun thing would be to share moments where maybe you failed and moments where you actually did something well. And so actually maybe we can laugh about the about the failures, but let's really focus on sharing something we did well today. With that, I pass.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. But more than that, it's important to me to give listeners like yourself a place where you do not need to feel alone on your 12-step journey. And for that reason, I've created a Facebook group. It's called Grateful Blessed Mess. And it's a place where listeners can go to add their own commentary on the share for the day, in addition to my own, and for us just to have a conversation or start a back and forth where people can find support in their 12-step journey. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.